Hello all, Rick here with a video that is taking a look at the trailer for Lower Decks Series 3 and taking a breakdown look at things to spot as many of the references and Easter eggs as I can. Of course, Lower Decks is all tongue-in-cheek when it comes to its contribution to the overall canon of Trek, but I am excited for it and I want to take a look anyway, so let's have a scan through. Where we left off, Captain Freeman was arrested by Starfleet security for apparent involvement in the destruction of the Pack-led planet. The Cerritos was still in operation for the most part, but had been badly damaged by discarding its outer hull plating in order to pass through a cloud of magnetized ionic plasma without attracting the debris. This had left the ship in a dire need of repair, but still operational. So straight away we can see that these plot threads are continuing, with the ship in repair dry dock over Earth, and the Federation News Network covering the story of the captain's alleged collusion with the Klingon extremists. We can see that the court-martial is taking place and presumably not going well for Freeman, as in later scenes we have the USS Cerritos departing in an unauthorised manner, which suggests theft. It looks like the crew may be taking the vessel out to clear the captain's name in some fashion, but the vessel has yet to see its full repair. We also get a shot of a Starfleet starbase. This designation is not named in canon, but I have seen it referred to as both the Invictus or regular class stations. They tend to be either defensive platforms, but are mostly scientific research outposts. We have shots of a planet where Boimler and Mariner are working a stall as part of what looks like a Starfleet recruitment pitch alongside other Federation institutions, including the Interplanetary Archaeologists Guild. It looks like the crew will become involved in some form of mission for them, or with them, as we later see an Indiana Jones-style delving going down later in the trailer. On their kiosk there is a Constellation-class starship, as well as a stack of pads to be given out, presumably. This may be a planet we have seen before, as it's the first shot of Tolgana IV, which has been visited once before in the shows, a non-aligned world which was considered neutral ground. The embassy city, seen here, features a Klingon district, Irizian, Andorian, Romulan and Ferengi one, as well as the Federation and Earth zones. There's also scenes of Rutherford piloting a Delta Flyer type shuttlecraft, but whether or not it's the Delta Flyer remains to be seen. Probably not, although it is taking part in a race once again, as we see it blitzing through a course alongside another vessel, while Rutherford himself is in the Starfleet racing attire. Although things apparently don't go well, as we have a Deredex Warbird firing on the Delta Flyer, with the race course in the background. This is 2381 more or less, so before the dissolution of the Star Empire and after the Dominion War Alliance ended. Speaking of allies, we get a cameo of General, or probably Chancellor Martok if he remains in power. It could be a recording, but it looks like a hail to me, so it would be cool to see where he is after the end of Deep Space Nine. This might tie into the crew celebrating in Klingon-themed attire, all wearing parts of Klingon armour and wielding 3 of their smaller bladed weapons. We have a mek'leth, a heckback knife, and an unknown weapon, which featured as one of Worf's trophies. There is a monitor present here too, so it could be Martok is effectively making a video call into their party. Mariner, after all, has strong ties to the Klingon Defence Force in her past with General Corrin. We also get a shot of Sisko's Creole kitchen from the outside, which is located in New Orleans and hopefully is still run by Joseph Sisko. I did note that a bottle on the table is labelled as Ketracel White Hot Sauce, which made me laugh, but it's also a little tasteless considering the context, surely. Still, a fun joke. Additionally, the casual clothing of Rutherford is similar to the style worn by a younger Jake Sisko, so there is going to be a lot of Deep Space Nine in this season, it appears. In fact, the big reveal is that they will be visiting the station itself, and hopefully docking there for a while. You better go to Quarks. I want to see if Morn is still there. The station is recreated in all its majesty, and they even lampshaded a joke about panning shots around the pylons, which I found particularly funny, because it's what I do in Star Trek Online to capture this footage. I don't think we'll get any lore drops from this show concerning its current state, but it would be nice to hear either Sisko, Kira, or even a Kurland here grant them permission to dock, but I imagine that would all be handled by other staff in the day-to-day. Still, it would be cool to find out the station's current status, maybe Bajor's, and who is running this iconic location. There is one part where the crew have to deal with their nightmares coming to life, and we see some Klingon clowns with batleth hands. understandably terrifying, as well as an Andorian werewolf and a simulated snake, and most notably for me, the appearance of Kukulkan. This looks to be the same planet as the Nightmare creations, so I'm not holding my breath for more of this majestic but misguided deific dragon. But for more on his lore, you can check out my There Be Dragons video. We also have a shot of Freeman wearing a mask and levitating with power, and this reminds me of the TNG episode Masks, where a cultural archive of the RSA, around 87 million years old, beamed its contents into the Enterprise D and began to spread its stories and myths among the computers on board, including Lieutenant Commander Data. I do wonder if this is part of the same episode where we see Mariner skydive from a spire settlement of some sort, as the same logo appears to be on both. There is another shot of an exocomp, in fact, the same exocomp from No Small Parts, called Peanut Hamper, who escaped the ship before the battle with the Packleads in Season 1. She does not appear to have been rescued, and instead has assembled a makeshift warp sled to travel somewhere. Do we have a revenge plot in the making? Finally, we have this brutal-looking alien on board the Cerritos who strikes me as some sort of bounty hunter. This is apparently a Chromsapioid or something, and the character is a new species for the show, which makes sense for the design, and as it's the sort of thing that a cartoon can get away with animating more so than live action. Although there have been some pretty impressive live-action alien designs beyond the standard humanoid form in recent Trek. So there we have it, everything I spotted from the trailer for Lower Decks. No doubt I have missed a few things here and there, so feel free to add them below for further reading. I've been Rick, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you for another video. Goodbye.